You're watching TelecomTV's exclusive video coverage of the OPNFV Summit in San Francisco. And I'm joined now by Chris Donnelly, who is Director of Virtualization and Network Evolution at CableLabs. Chris, thanks for joining us on TelecomTV.
Thank you.
When we talk about open solutions for NFV, open, what exactly are we talking about? What does open mean?
Open for us means the open community. It's everybody coming together, service providers and equipment vendors and labs to work together for common solutions, open code, and sharing of experiences.
So when we talk about open NFV, we're still talking about the standardized NFV work that's going on. It's just like another aspect to it, another layer to it?
Yes. Now we're bringing together the software code, integrating many of the components that have been out in the world, OpenStack and Open Daylight, and really aligning them with the ETSI NFV architecture.
So what's CableLabs' interest in NFV and also OPNFV?
Well, we've been working on SDN and NFV with our members for 3 years now. And we're trying to drive innovative solutions into the marketplace. Don Clark on my team is the chair of the ETSI NFV NOC, and we've been involved with OPNFV as founding members. It's a way for us to work with the community, to share our prototypes, and I have a seat on the board and chair the strategic planning committee. So that, again, we can work together as a community to drive a solution that works for everybody.
And you mentioned community there. I mean, how important is it to get the community, this ecosystem, to get a lot of different players all participating with like a common goal?
It's really important. This is a significant body of work to bring NFV to fruition. And it's a Pareto optimization. It's the 80-20 rule that 80% of the code delivers 20% of the value, and 20% of the code delivers 80% of the value. So if we all work together on the 80%, then everybody has more time to focus on what drives value for their companies.
So in a way, the ideal scenario is that we have a bit of a hybrid between pure open source aspect and more slightly proprietary, more tailored towards each specific provider's interests.
Well, I think you can see that when it comes to Linux, where the Linux kernel is pure open source, and then you have distributions, Fedora and Debian, for example, that are user community driven, and then the commercial versions, like a Red Hat or an Ubuntu. And I think that we're going to see the same thing with OPNFV, that there is room for commercial versions with vendors to stand up behind the products and offer support, for example.
And where are we at with our trialing and testing and our proofs of concept? Or where specifically is CableLabs at? What are you doing to prove this and ensure that the practical application meets the theory?
Well, we've been building several different proofs of concept. We have two that we're showing here on virtual CPE, one for business services and another for residential. And back at CableLabs, we're also working on virtualization for the cable modem termination systems.
Right. So, do you have a fixed time scale, or is it just whenever we can develop and successfully demonstrate, we'll then take it to the next stage, or do you have an overarching plan as to what you want to do with NFV?
We have a three-step migration plan that we want to offer to our members. The first step is virtual CPE, using the existing infrastructure and bringing in OPNFV and using that to accelerate innovation within their networks. That we've found with our prototyping, we can deliver new products in 6-week cycles. Now, these are early prototypes, but it's enough to drive feedback to figure out if we're on the right track and whether we should continue or whether we should stop that effort and start something else. And I think that's one of the real powerful benefits of NFV in the industry. So the second step, once we have virtual CPE in place, is to virtualize the legacy equipment to make sure that there's a path forward for all the equipment that's already been installed. And then the third step is to take advantage of the full vision of NFV with decomposed services and being able to instantiate them wherever there is need and spare compute and network power.
Excellent. I'm just going to go pick up on that third point again, because again we've got another sound from next door. So that was step one and step two. What's the third step in the process?
The third step is to realize the full vision of NFV, which is to decompose all the different services and all the different functions and to deploy them in the network where there's spare compute, storage, and network power.
Now, final question. As you said earlier, CableLabs has been a strong proponent of OPNFV since it started. Here at this event, there's a lot of people here, there's a lot of interest. I think the volumes have surprised many. What is it? What is it about OPNFV that's attracted so much interest?
I think it's the community. It's the willingness of everybody to work together to share experiences across the ecosystem, from the vendor community to the service provider community. And this is turning out to be a great event for rubbing elbows. The energy has been phenomenal.
Chris, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.